continuum of care, where if I have a patient that, say, is homeless or requires other social services, then part of my job is to refer them to different agencies. But what ends up happening to people is they just keep literally getting referred from agency to agency to agency. And what needs to happen is a real actual provisioning of service. So I think that's part of the problem that we have. Another problem is that, we don't have very many homeless shelters here in Madison County. We've got the two, Downtown Rescue Mission and Salvation Army, and they have a very limited amount of beds. And then because they're also faith-based, which can be problematic. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with faith-based, but if you don't subscribe to that particular faith, that could be problematic. And then also they're at capacity. It's very interesting in this meeting. I found out that toward the end of this month, there's going to be about 16,000, and I got clarification on that. 16,000 federal inmates that are going to be released in Alabama, and this is going to be happening nationwide as part of the Obama administration's efforts to reduce prison population for nonviolent offenders. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these folks are going to be coming out of prison without much time to transition, and a lot of them are going to end up homeless, I'm afraid. So I think we're going to see a huge spike in homeless numbers. So this whole issue has really reached a critical point here in Madison County, and I think there are solutions out there, but agencies are going to have to quit empire building, if you will, and protecting their own turf and really work together towards a solution.
Well, no disagreement here. We got to find productive solutions, and hopefully, I know you've got some ideas.
Yeah.
Do you want to share some of those?
Sure, I'd love to. One of the things that I think is problematic is that pretty much anytime you have homeless people, 98% of the time they're trespassing, whether it's on public land or private land. About 50 cities across the United States, homelessness is actually illegal. They've passed anti-vagrancy laws and things like that, and
illegal to be homeless.
Illegal to be homeless. That's right. You'll go to jail.
Seems very uncaring. I understand that there are problems that come along with vagrancy and homelessness, but to just sort of make them criminals, to criminalize a person's plight,
right?
That just seems very heartless.
Yeah, and I'll give some credit to particularly Sergeant Mark Roberts from the Huntsville Police Department. He was there at this meeting today, and he is not one that wants to go around arresting homeless people. He's been an advocate for them, and he wants to help transition them into what they call transitional housing and then eventually permanent housing. So I think most people in this community realize that there are solutions, and I did some research, and in Utah and in other communities across the United States, they're starting to realize that camps are not such a good idea. You don't want 30 to 50 homeless people living under a bridge in a camp. What they are seeing, though, is that they call them micro-housing units, is that they're almost like Habitat for Humanity homes that are built very, very small, they're very affordable, and
they're like shotgun houses, really.
Basically, yeah.
That's what they look like to me, the ones that I've seen in pictures.
That's right.
They look like shotgun houses.
Right, and it's actually cheaper.
But nice shotgun, not raggedy falling apart.
Right. And you put, 2 or 3 of these together on a small little bit of land, perhaps a church parking lot or somewhere like that. You have rules and regulations. What I'm saying is you have a system in place to ensure that the right people get this housing and that it is indeed transitional, that it's not permanent housing for them. And, you can put together a program in place where you really empower the homeless. And that's one of the things that we want to do at First Stop. Right now, we're busy raising money so that we can deal with this influx of people that we're going to have. In fact, if you allow me real quick to plug this, we have a benefit coming up on June the 14th. Football legend Phil Savage is coming to town, and it's going to be fantastic. For those of you who don't know, he's a color commentator for the Crimson Tide Network. He's coached at Alabama with Nick Saban. He's been with the Baltimore Ravens.
And so this is a fundraiser for First Stop?
It is.
Oh,
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and tickets are $50. If you go to firststop.org on the internet, you can click on events and purchase your tickets there. There's going to be food provided at this, and also some great silent auction prizes.
Right. So,
we even have a guitar from Alabama Shakes that's signed.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So
that's cool.
Definitely wanted to check the event out.
Okay, all right, and people can call First Stop for more information on that.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so the micro-housing sounds like a really good idea, and hopefully other stakeholders will get that,
That's right.
bite on it. And I know that it's supposed to be transitional, but I would almost think that even if somebody ended up living there for a few years, that would be better than having them living under a bridge.
Absolutely. And one of the things that people don't realize is that the cost of criminalizing the homeless and the cost of dealing with all those issues, it's very, very expensive. To actually provision them with services is about a third cheaper. So
Mhm.
for people out there that all they're thinking about is the money aspect of this, providing them with services and helping them is actually far more cost effective.
And they assign a case, at least in Utah, I read, they assign social workers
Absolutely.
to the homeless that they are helping with these transitional homes.
That's right. And at Alabama A&M, they've got a great social work program.
Mhm.
This is really an opportunity for Huntsville to show what kind of city it really is right now. That throughout Madison County, we've had this problem for some time. We've not made significant progress, and part of it's because of the economy. I'm not saying it's a failure of agencies, but we've got to try a different approach. And I think that if we get the whole community involved, business leaders, Leadership Huntsville, Chamber of Commerce, people that traditionally don't get involved in projects like this, I think we can make a real difference, and that's what we're trying to do.
If you can get them to believe that it will have an impact on Huntsville's bottom line, they'll be there bright and early.
Right. Well, I can do that.